Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have received numerous requests to dive into Next.js 13 internationalization. So in this brief video, I'll be providing you an introductory tutorial on Next.js 13 internationalization route. As you saw, this is the Next.js apps and by default is English, and this is English. And when we click the Dudes button, it will show the Dudes language. And there's a click Chinese language, it will show the Chinese language. And the endpoint is CN for Chinese. And for the Dudes, the endpoint is DE for the Dudes language. Okay, this is from the Next.js International. Currently, I am knee-deep in creating a comprehensive CRUD API tutorial using Node.js, Express, and MongoDB. We'll be conducting tests using Postman and containerizing the application with Docker. So, stay tuned for some exciting content ahead. You may be familiar with JSON placeholder, the fake API we have used in the past. However, it's essential to understand that JSON placeholder comes with some limitation. It primarily supports the read operation, while create, update, and delete operation are simulated and don't persist data. This means that if you refresh your page after performing create, update, or delete operation, the change won't be reflected. This limitation can sometimes make you question whether your code is incorrect or not, or working as expected. And this is the example of get our users, and indeed it get other users like JSON placeholders, get other users, and we can create users and click send. It create the users, new users, and we can get users by ID send. Yes, indeed, it get the user by the ID, and we copy the ID again. We will perform an update operation, copy the ID, and test update, send, and indeed it update the username and delete users, send, user deleted successfully. By following this tutorial, you'll get hands-on experience with the real enterprise level CRUD operation, which will be a valuable addition to your skill set. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so now. And don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, so you'll be the first to know when I upload the new content. Your support is greatly appreciated, and it helps me continue creating tutorials like this one. Thank you and happy learning. Without further ado, let's open the terminal and click nps create next apps add latest. We need to wait for the while, so I will fast forward the video so you don't need to wait for a long time. Okay, then we name the apps YouTube Next ENTL or internationalization, TypeScript yes, ESLint yes, Tailwind CSS no, source directory yes, app routes yes, customization default import alias no, and okay, it creating the apps. Okay, it's done. Now let's go to the folder by cd YouTube Next ENTL and code dot to open it in VS Code. Okay. And let's create a new file in source folder. New file with the name of middleware.ts, as we use TypeScript. And then we go to Next.js website. This is the middleware. This is for the import default language. And this is for the routing can be internationalized by either subpath //fr/product or domain my-site.fr/product. With this information, you can now redirect the user. This is the middleware we use. We copy it and back to the VS Code, and we pass it in the middleware.ts. What we use is en and de and cn. Okay. Let default local equal to string en. And then inside this function, we go back to Next.js website and copy all, and then go back to VS Code again. We paste it in, and we return match. Okay. And go back to Next.js website. We copy the import match and negotiator and copy it at the middleware.ts. And then we need to install the negotiator and format.js ENTL local master. We do npm I negotiator, and then we do npm I at format.js ENTL local mature. Okay. And then because we are using TypeScript, so we install the safedep at types/negotiator. Okay. After it's done, we close the terminal, and request is type of next request. From Next server. And then there is our locals. So we don't need the double let locals and let default locals. We can delete it. And after that, the accepted language. So const accepted language is equal request the headers that get of string accepted language or undefined. And then the accepted language we copy inside accepted language. And request is type of next request. Okay, we try to run the apps with npm run dev. We will run in localhost 3001 because I already run the first one at localhost 3000. We got 404. Because our apps is run, but we need to create a lang router or lang root. Create a new folder with inside bracket of lang. This is define the lang as root and copy all inside it. Copy all and move inside the lang folder. And we refresh the apps. We're missing the image. This is Next.js logo. I think it's in the middleware. We go back to VS Code. And then in middleware.ts, we close the terminal first. And it's a measure. It skip our internet parts of underscore next. So our assets folder is missing. We need to skip the API and the assets. This regex is skipping the API and the assets folder. So we have our assets image back. Okay, and that's it. Underscore next, assets, and API. And now we back to our browser and refresh it. I think the apps is crashed. So we back to VS Code. And then we do the npm run dev again. It's a localhost 3001. Okay, and we got our image back. And now we do the translation part. We close the terminal. We open a new folder with dictionaries and a new file of dictionaries.ts. And inside the dictionary.ts, we go to Next.js website. this is the apps, and this is the dictionaries.js. We copy all and go back to VS Code, paste it. We use is English, and this is D, and one more is Chinese or CN. And local is local. Type, export type, local is equal key of type of dictionaries. And because we don't have the JSON file yet, so it shows an error. And we just copy the dictionaries file. I got all the file in my GitHub repository. So we now just copy and paste it. It is just the translation file of English, dudes, and Chinese. Now we go to page.js. And we go to Next.js website. We saw the params. The prop is params length const this equal to await get dictionary of length, and we can use it like this. I think we can use another name. We don't use this because sometimes this can be misspelled, and we use it as international or ENTL. And now we go back to VS Code. Props of params, and have an object of length, and we define the type props equal to an object of params and object of length of local. And we import the local from dictionaries. And as a type of props. Okay. And then we can define the ENTL, const ENTL is equal to await get dictionaries, and length as a params. And this, because this is async function, we add async and import the get dictionaries from dictionaries. Okay. After that, we can use it. Get started by editing ENTL dot get started. and VS Code is already give us the recommendation entl dot doc. Okay, this is entl dot learn. Okay, this is entl dot template. entl dot template. Okay, and this is entl dot deploy. Okay, I think that's all. Let's go to the browser, and this is this is DE. Okay, and the Chinese CN. Okay, it's work, and it show it all. Now let's add the button for the translation. Create a new folder of components, because we want to create a component, so we separate it in another folder. Inside it, we create a new folder with Swiss lang or Swiss language. Inside it, we create a new file of Swiss lang .tss. Okay, and a new file again, Swiss lang .module .css for the style, and new file index.ts. In Switzerland, I have my functional component snippet. We import the style from /Switzerland.module.css. And we use const router is equal to use router. This is from Next /navigation, but we don't have a suggestion here, so we use Next router, and then we change it to Next /navigation. Okay. And then we define the Swiss lang function, const Switzerland equal to arrow function, you get the lang as the params. Lang is type of local, and arrow function of router that push to a dynamic route of /lang. And then we can import the local from dictionary. From here we have 3 buttons. We copy it 3 times. The first is English. The second is Dutch. And the third is Chinese. Okay. The button will have a class name of style.button. And on click, and anonymous function of switch length that receive a params of string en. This is the same for the other 2, so we just copy it. And we change the other 2 is de and cn. Okay. And we do a little formatting. I use prettier for code formatting. And we go to the browser. I think we need to implement it first. We go to page TSS, and in the middle, switch length component. Okay. And then we go to browser. We got an error here. Use router only works in client components. Add the use client directive at the top of the list. Okay. So we back to VS Code. Switch length. And at the top, we add use client. Okay, and it's work, but it's not styled yet. So we back to the switch length module.css and add a little style that button. We give a style of padding of 3 pixel and 10 pixel. And margin right of 10 pixel, and we go to index.ts, export default as switch length from /switch length. That's it. Okay, I think it's all done. We go to the website again. English, yes, let's go to English. Dutch, it switch to Dutch language. And Chinese, it switch to Chinese language. And this is it, guys, for today's tutorial. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you had a great time watching, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to me. If you haven't already, I'd be thrilled if you hit that big red subscribe button right below this video. By subscribing, you'll be the part of our incredible community, and you won't miss any of the exciting content we have in store for you. We release new videos every Monday, covering a coding tips and tutorial. So, if you're interested in coding, this is the perfect place for you. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you are awesome. I look forward to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep being amazing.